This problem, we want to factor this by using the factoring by grouping method. So in order to factor this by grouping, what we have to do is multiply the first number by the last number. So 5 times -9 is going to give us -45. So I'm going to write down the factors of just 45 first, but know that when we try and find the pair that adds up to 12, we need to have one of those positive and one of them to be negative. So the idea here is you're looking for numbers that multiply to make -45, but add to be 12. So since this is negative, that means one of our factors is positive and one of them has to be negative. So here's the factors of just 45. It would be 1 and 45. We have 3 and 15 and 5 and 9. We want to find the pair that if you subtract them or add them together, we get 12. The only combination that allows us to do that will be the 3 and the 15. Now, of course, one of these needs to be negative, so that way when they multiply, they make -45. It has to add up to 12. So I want, since this has to be a positive number here in the middle, then the larger number needs to be positive and the smaller number needs to be negative here in this case. -3 times 15 is -45, but -3 plus 15 would be the 12 we have there. So I'm going to rewrite the 12 as these two factors. Again, it doesn't matter which one of those that you put first. I'll put the -1 first, -3x plus 15x, and then -9. It would still simplify back to what we started with. We're just purposely rewriting the 12 as -3 plus 15. Now we're going to factor the first two and factor the second two. If I factor the first two, the only thing that's common from that is just going to be an x. And so 5x squared divided by x is 5x. -3x divided by x is -3. And then that would be it for that one. Next, I have 15 and 9. A 3 would be something common. Both of these are divisible by 3. So I'll factor out a 3 here. 15x divided by 3 is 5x. -9 divided by 3 is -3. As we see here, both of these match. So if it can be factored and we did it correctly by grouping, you should always see both of these to be the same. The one that repeats, we will write that down. And then if we got rid of these parenthesis parts, whatever's left over, we have x plus 3. So that's going to be the other factor that we have. So now this would be completely factored. Let's do another example here. All right, so I have 6 that I have to multiply by -12. So again, the same idea here. You're still multiplying the first number by the last number. So 6 times -12 is -72. And we want to find two numbers that multiply to make -72, but add to be -1. That would be in the middle there. Now I'm going to write out the factors. Now, as you do more of these, you may all of a sudden just think and know exactly which factor it is. That comes in time as you do these and have seen problems similar to this. You'll be able to find out which one that is without necessarily writing out all the factors. But I'll still go ahead and write these out anyway. So 2 and 36. We have 3 and 24. We have 4 and 18. 5 doesn't work, but we have 6. So we have 6 and 12, and then we have 8 and 9. So out of all those, the only one that adds up, that could possibly add up to a -1, will be these two down here. Again, because this number is negative, one number has to be positive, one number needs to be negative. Because we don't want it to be negative, I want to put the negative next to the larger number this time, so that when I add them together, it adds up to a -1. So that's the combination I want to use. Again, it doesn't matter which order you want to write that in. So I'm going to do 6x squared. And we're going to do, let's suppose you wanted to put the -9 first. Typically, I would put the positive one, then the -1, but it doesn't matter. Let's write it out this way this time. And just to show you, it can still be factored and we can still get the answer. So I'm going to do -9x plus 8x here. For the first two, 6 and 9, there's a 3 that would be common to both of those. Both of these are divisible by 3. and also x. Take out the smallest power of x that we have there. 6x squared divided by 3x is going to be 2x. Negative 9x divided by 3x is minus 3. Next, we're going to take these two, the 8 and the 12. Both of those are divisible by 4. So I'll put a 4 on the outside. 8x divided by 4 is 2x. Negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. Now we see that the common factor is going to be 2x minus 3. If I got rid of those two things, I would have a 3x plus 4 left over, and that's going to be my second factor. So now it is fully factored.